Sister Toyi, Mama, you are always on point. Thank you. Apologizing in marriage. When we talk about apology in marriage, we're talking about something that helps the relationship to grow. Apologizing has to do with asking for forgiveness of each other. When you offend your partner or your former partner did something wrong, and you swallow your pride and go to your partner and said, baby, I'm sorry. Let's forget about it and move on. Or your husband comes to you and said, I'm sorry, my wife, please, let's get over this. So tonight, I just want to talk about it. Most especially African tradition. African tradition, we're meant to, we accept that women are women, we women have to apologize to our husband. I'm not against it. I'm not against that. It's a very good thing. I've said it several times. When your husband starts, and you want peace, you don't want headache. Don't make issue. Just tell him, baby, or darling, I'm sorry. You can say you're sorry, and you just bring out the point. The main thing you want him to know that is not right. The main thing you say, Daddy, I'm sorry. I don't mean it that way, but this thing is, I was just looking in a good manner. It's very good for a woman to apologize. And likewise, there's no big deal as a man if you tell your wife you are sorry. Please, anybody that knows how to translate Yoruba to English, you need to help me. When you prostrate for a dwarf person and you stand up, you're still going to tell that person, you are the head of the house, but that does not mean if you are wrong, you don't have to say sorry. It's a common sense thing. But some men will believe, let me just say something. You went out late. You finished from office and you went out with your friends. Normally you come home 7. You're not home 7. Your wife is worried. She won't eat. The food is on table. She's waiting for you. The children are asking, Mommy, where is my daddy? Daddy, Mommy, where is my daddy? Your wife is calling your phone. You keep saying, yeah, hello, dear, I'm coming. And you came in 1 a.m. in the morning, and your wife was really mad. Because of that, you're now fighting your wife. You are not talking to her. Because she raised her voice when you came in. So because of that, she needs to apologize. I just want to tell you tonight, watch what you're doing. What you will not take, don't give it to another person. Some men will take it to, another level because you've been doing something and your wife keeps saying, I'm sorry. Daddy, my husband, I'm sorry. Now you take it to the extent that they have to be pampered you as if you are a baby. Everything your wife have to beg you. Someone left a comment which I found so I was just laughing. She said there's no good woman, there's no respect. Like the only days now that when your husband disagree, you have to beg your husband. Your husband will say, go and kill a chicken before I eat your food and I come to your room. That is not love. That is slavery. We are no more in slavery here. If we are in love, then we work out things. Before it escalates, before you turn it to go and kill a ram, go and kill a chicken, are you doing sacrifice? But in a situation where there is communication, the moment you've done something wrong, then go to your husband and say, look, darling, sometimes we get carried away. When we are carried away, we do some things that we don't mean. And our men, when we say something, when you say, please leave me alone. I should get out. Ori mi o pe, I'm stupid. I'm this, you know. Then we turn it even more than what you've just said that moment. But it's for you to go back to your husband. Look, woman, don't do stubborn head. I'm not going to say sorry. Sometimes you are right, but you just have to say that sorry just to let peace reign in the house. But the part I don't like is when the men take it so far. When you are wrong and you want your wife to keep saying sorry. You know, you went out, you come late. You came home late. You know, I have a friend. She said to me, anytime my husband went out, and he said to me, I'm going out with my friend. He doesn't come home with empty-handed. He will bring whatever he has eaten in that joint or whatever. He will bring it, or maybe they went out to have pepper soup with their friends. He will buy me my pepper soup and bring it home. But you are coming, you know. You are coming, then you came empty-handed, and the woman was not talking to you. She was really mad. And because of that, I came home and she didn't tell me welcome. When you came home 1 a.m. in the middle of the night, who will tell you welcome? If your wife went out and came home 11 p.m., not 1 a.m., will you tell the wife you are welcome? Don't take it too far. Please, men, I'm sorry tonight. Don't turn yourself to small God in the house. Although you are a small God, but don't turn yourself to a big one in the house. Then you have to sit down. Even you are wrong, then your wife have to beg you all the time. She has to be begging you all the time. Is it because you think she has already had 4 kids for you? If she goes, she won't find another person. Don't make that mistake. If you take off your mat, the Lord heaven will serve. We give that woman a fighter phone if she's been good with you. It's good to apologize. Don't let things go far, but don't take it too far. Then it goes to some women out there. You know your husband loves you. Your husband will not do without you. Any little thing your husband says, then you are hungry. Any small thing your husband says, you are hungry. Please, I want everybody to share this on their wall for me. Any little thing your husband says, you are hungry because you know your husband can't do without you. He loves you so much. Your husband will not go to work and be in peace when you are, you know, when you are, you guys are not in a good time. But let me tell you, this apology, something we're talking about, is 2 in 10 for women, but for men is 10 in 10. Let me say, don't let me be partial. Let me say 9 in 10. Most of you men out there, you want to stand because I'm a man. Let me tell you, we all know you are a small God. You are the head of our house. You are everything that you are. But let me tell you something. Telling your wife, I'm sorry, will not reduce whatever you want. Okay, I don't read comments, but someone just wrote one comment. Ma, some women want us to beg all the time. Please talk to them to learn how to... Yes, I want to ask you one question. What are you begging for? If you go out there and you pregnate one woman and come home and said, I'm sorry, that's not part of it. Oh, if your wife caught you with girlfriend and you came home, I'm sorry, that is not a beg you will beg in one day that everything will sorted out. Don't talk about that. Because I'm a woman myself. You understand? So when we are talking about forgiveness in marriage, let's treat that in a different case. You can't go out there and impregnate another woman and come home and tell your wife, I'm sorry. Then your wife will just be smiling. Then you are dead. Because you are a chicken. It better not be part of it. Then your wife will not cut you with girlfriend and you just tell your wife, I'm sorry. It doesn't work that way. So let us know what we're talking about. But some little issues, some little things will happen. Then we get over it. We need to work on it and let it go. And we let it go. And for you, for we women as well, you know, there will be a time our husband will offend us. You may be saying something. Look, Oh, sometimes, sometimes some men will not come to you and say I'm sorry until they need you. That is not right. That is not right. You don't go to your wife until you need your wife to say sorry. Don't leave things to go out. When your wife is not coming to you and said, I'm sorry. When your wife she's not coming to you and tell you, you can call your wife and say, look, come here, sit down. Let's talk. What is in your mind? And if your husband is doing the same thing, don't fight in the house. Don't keep malice in the house. Your children are there. What example are you giving them? What are you teaching your children? Don't keep malice in the house. And don't scream on yourself while your children are there. Someone left a comment for me for the last video I did, and she said, maybe your husband don't take you out. And I was just laughing. Because I know people that comes to my house. If you come to my house and see me and him, when you get home, your husband will complain. So I was just laughing. It's because we don't leave issue to go far. Don't turn yourself to cat and mouse in the house. When you have small issue, then your husband will take one side. You know, some couples are even so, you know, lately I hear things that we use pillow to demarcate bed. Use pillow to demarcate bed when you are not in prison yard. And you live under the same roof. When you don't apologize to each other, when you don't tell yourself you're sorry, when you keep on you keep fighting for no reason, things that doesn't make sense. And you came home late. Where did you go? You are talking to someone. You didn't cook on time. You know, some men are so funny when they'll say, yeah, because they didn't cook on time. Yes, they don't do this. You don't need all that. You don't need all that. If you think your husband is pulling that rope, is ready to fight that night, you know, don't give devil the chance to walk through your marriage. Tell him you are sorry. Let everybody go to bed in peace. Then the next morning, yes. Then you call him and say, darling, look, sit down. I need to talk to you. I can't sleep because I'm not in peace with what you did yesterday. Then you say your mind, darling, this is what, and this, you just talk about it and everything goes. Don't keep malice in your home. It's not going to help your marriage. Don't put the rope of fighting. It's not going to help your marriage. Don't pull it. You don't need it. When it's necessary and it's not necessary to make peace sometimes, just tell them you are sorry. Some of our men, they don't even act like a woman. They act like a baby. You know, you know when you are just giving baby food. Oh yeah, take now. I'll give you sweets. I'll give you biscuits. They'll be doing like a baby. Please, if your husband is like a baby one, you better carry him and start giving him like you are breastfeeding a baby. If your husband is like that. But if your husband is the kind of person that goes with pride, I can't say sorry. Yeah, I'm your husband. No matter what I do, you have to tell me sorry. Please play this video while your husband is there. Daddy, you are wrong. That may even make you lose your wife. Because one day she will just be fed up and said, what is going on with you, this man? Every time I keep pampering you, I keep begging you. Are you taking me for granted? What do you think is going on? Then let me tell you, that day you will see the different color of your wife because you've put her to the wall. She will just go, why do you have to be doing that? I keep telling you, I'm sorry. Despite the fact I'm not wrong. Then that is the day you will see the second color, third or fourth color of your wife. Then you will see another color. Then you will not believe what you're seeing. Sorry, I thought then you will not see what, you will not believe what you are seeing. So you need to know what you're doing. Don't push your wife to the wall. Because when she keep telling you, Dali, I'm sorry, Dali, I'm sorry, Dali, I'm sorry, one day she will just stand up to you and say, yeah, go to hell. I don't care whatever you have to say. Keep it to yourself tonight. I had enough of it. Who do you think you are? And when you are wrong, there's not a big deal. Some of our men, you don't want your wife to tell you are wrong. If you are wrong, one day we are talking, and my husband goes, look how you are talking to me. And I asked him, should I go and talk to the neighbor's husband? It's only your wife that can talk to you anyhow. It's only your wife that will talk to you anyhow. There's no other woman that will talk to you. No other woman will raise their voice on you. It's only your wife that can talk to you anyhow. So when your wife keep telling you, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Uncle Tunde Oladeji, it doesn't common for a woman to push for a man to be telling the wife, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. It's very rare, sir. Don't let us, don't let us hide behind the finger. Let's call a spade a spade. I don't hide anything. I'm not biased. But when we come to, when we are talking about apologizing in marriage, it has a lot to do with women. This is not a matter of joking or, playing, I'm not. But to be frank, women, we do apologize a lot more than you men. But one thing that I don't like is when someone keeps saying, yeah, you need to be telling me I'm sorry. You need to be telling me I'm sorry. You need to be telling me I'm sorry. You need to be telling, kilo day. You want to turn yourself to something else in the house in the air. Why? Why do we have to tell you? Some men are so dubious. They caught them with girlfriend because the wife screamed because of that. The wife have to beg. Okay. There is a situation when the wife found a condom in the husband's pocket and the receipt of hotel. And she didn't do anything. She took it out and put it on her husband's pillow. Sorry. This woman didn't shout. She didn't call the husband. She just put the receipt and the condom on the husband's pillow, where this husband's side. And when this man came in and he saw that, he said, what rights do you have to take my stuff out? Why are you going through my trouser? The same trouser that this woman she's meant to wash it. She wants to wash it. That's how she found it. And it turned into something else. To the extent everybody have to be begging this man. Things that does not make sense. Don't turn yourself because you're already late home. Then go home and tell your wife, I'm sorry, I enjoyed the party. I was having a fun. You don't have to come and start bringing on those. Don't throw tantrum. You've already done something wrong. You've done it. So when Tayo, out of this room. Yes, Mr. Murphy. Murphy or Lekon, men rules the world, but please don't rule us to the sea. We are all human beings. We have flesh, we have blood, we have water, we have bone, we have everything like you. So because you rule the world, that does not mean anything. And Shino Peters has said you should give us chance to rule the world. If we rule the world, we will not be embezzling money like you guys are doing in Abuja. I didn't say that though. You also said women run the world. So if you rule the world, then I'm not saying this in an exotic way, but rule it in a good way. In a way people will appreciate. In a way everybody will be happy in their home. Amen. Sorry, that's Tayo. Rule it in a way we will be happy. Rule it in a way that we will wake up in the morning, we will bless you. You know, rule it in the way that we'll wake up in the morning, we'll sit down, I'll be looking at your husband on the bed, I will say, no, if I come back again in another life, I will marry this man. That is the way you should rule it. Don't rule it in a way that when we wake up in one day, we will just feel like slaughter. You know, you just hate the man. You just look at him and said, this man. So rule that way, Mr. Murphy. Rule your home the way that you will have peace. That is what I'm trying to bring out. Rule your home the way, you know, there's nothing big. There's no big than it. Your wife is your half. So your wife, you can tell your wife how sorry you are. Baby, I'm sorry. I don't mean it. I don't mean to hurt you. Please, let's forget about this. You know I love you. Then you pamper your wife, then everything goes. And women out there, let me tell you, your husband, they are like your children. You know, when a child start walking at the age of 1.5, our husband, they are between 1.5 to 3. Sit down. Don't go. Don't climb. Have you eaten? Do you want to eat? Is your clothes dirty? Have you bathed? Is your water dirty? Have you eaten? Are you having a headache? Are you this? Are you that? That is our husband. They are like every minute, hey, mommy, sorry, darling, stop crying. Oh yeah, come here, let me cuddle you. Come here, mommy loves you. Our men, they are like that. So please, it's not everything they do, then you will get mad and close your eyes. So when they come home and they have done something wrong and they say, they can, you know, and said, I'm sorry, baby, I don't mean it. I'm really, really sorry. Then we let go. Then we let go. Because there's no way you are brought up in a different home, your husband is brought up in a different home, and you come together, and that's two different ideas are coming together. So you need to look into that as well. So when your husband does something wrong, then you tell your husband, you're sorry. I'm not saying every man is perfect. There must be one day your husband, you will do something you don't like. But the main thing I want to say tonight is understanding you need it in your marriage. Understanding you need it in your marriage. Apologize. Tell your wife you're sorry. Wife, tell your husband you're sorry. Sit down and compromise. Talk about things. Okay, someone just asked me a good question. Sister Shola, if your husband don't say sorry, go to him and say, dear, can I talk to you? Can we have a talk? And if he said that, I said, okay, what do you want to talk about? Then tell him, darling, please, this is what you're doing and what you're doing, and I don't like it. I expect you to talk to me so we can talk about it, but you are not talking about it. So you can just talk to each other about it. You can discuss it, and your husband may realize it's wrong and decided to say sorry. But if it's not a sorry part, then you just have to talk about it and let go. So that is the main thing that has to go on with marriage. Understanding. Let peace reign in your home. Let peace reign in your home. Don't put on all shoulder pad. When you put on too much shoulder pad, then you become something else. Respect has to come both ways. And I'm always saying it as a man, don't treat your wife the way you don't want someone to treat your sister. Don't treat your wife the way you don't want someone to treat your daughter. And whatever you're doing as a role model, as a figure of a father in the house, that is what your children will do. So when you love your wife, you will not want your wife to be angry. When you love your husband, you will not want your husband to be angry. Then one thing I says is, when you are trying to hurt someone, you are hurting yourself, because the moment you sit down and said, oh, how can I deal with this boy? How can I deal with this man? Your brain is working. Your heart is pumping blood. You're getting hot. You're getting high. Then you are hurting yourself. Mr. White, ma, if is the husband that is wrong, he has yes, you have every right to tell your wife you're sorry. You have every right to tell your wife you're sorry. Apárò kan ò ga jebe, apárò kan ò ga jù kan la fi tó bá gorí ebè. And if you know Yoruba to English, help me to translate that. We are all human beings. And let me tell men out there, it takes your wife to make your marriage work. And it takes you to make your marriage work as well. So you respect your wife, your wife respect you. Understanding, communication. You communicate in your marriage. If you are not communicating in your marriage, if all the time you leave it for 2, 3, 4 weeks, then there's going to be a problem in that marriage. And if the wall is not open, lizard will not go in. So when you are doing that, you keep prolonging the issue. Then it brings friends, it brings neighbors, it brings family in. And that is why intermediary will come here and said, your husband is a devil. How can your husband do that? You know? But don't say because I said you should apologize, then leave your wife at home and go out for 3, 4 days. And come back the 5th day and start saying, I'm sorry. I'm sorry alone will not take that, because your wife will be so mad. Or you know, some of our men there, we go there, you go and commit adultery, your wife caught you, I said, I'm sorry. If you keep saying, I'm sorry, one day that I'm sorry will not work. So let us know what we are talking about. Don't go out there and go and impregnate one girl and bring baby home after 5 years or 6 years, or while the baby is pregnant, and you said, I'm sorry. So don't do all that. Give honor. Who honor is meant to be given to. Honor your wife. And wife, honor your husband. Respect. Love your wife. Love your husband. Then don't, you know, some men cannot, it's very hard for them to open their mouth and say sorry. So instead of saying sorry, they'll go and buy purse, buy shoe. You know, hello, where are you? I'm coming home now. Have you cooked my food? That is not the way to say sorry. That is not the way to say sorry. If you made a mistake and you want to tell yourself, your wife, I'm sorry, say to your wife, you're sorry. Not by, you know, doing shakara, putting up attitude. You don't do that. That is not how to tell your wife you're sorry. And now, I've already talked to the men. I want to come to our women out there. Some of our Nigerian women, we don't have manners. You know, I'm putting myself among you. We don't have manners. If you are one of those women that you don't have manner, you have no respect, it's very hard for you. You know, I did a video that you can say, I can't tell my husband I'm sorry. But when your husband and your friend and your husband is fighting, you can go there and go and kneel down and say, Daddy, Emma Binu, or then you need, my friend will not do that. I'm sorry. Then you are fooling yourself. Then you are fooling yourself. If you are a woman and you are so arrogant, you have no respect for your husband, you go out anyhow, you go from this place to there, and your husband cannot even talk to you. You tell your husband, this, that, that is wrong. As a woman, you need to give your husband that 100% respect. If you've done something wrong, then go to your husband. If it takes you to go on your 2 knees and tell your husband you are sorry because he's your small God. Some of you women out there, you will say, I can't say sorry until that thing now busted. Okay, Mr. Murphy, but my wife always said I know what is going to say sorry. You are not going to say sorry. Look for Mr. Murphy. Look, sir, I'm very sorry, but let me tell you something. There is no other way to say sorry to your wife. I don't know if anybody wants to borrow you another English there. But I'm going to tell you. There's no other way. I don't know any other English. If you're wrong, doing all those things, there's no other way. Tell your wife you're sorry. Then see how she's going to be glad. So which other way? Okay, tell me, sir. Which other way do you want to tell your wife you're sorry? I don't know any other way. Buying a gift does not mean you're sorry because you are the husband. So don't mind, you can buy a gift.